If you are seeing art everywhere you're looking, you're in St. Pete, Florida.
Come on, let's go. I moved to Florida as a teen when St. Pete was known as the home of the newlywed and the almost dead. Not anymore. The city is filled with restaurants, shops, festivals, theaters, museums, and the best Saturday market around. Best of all are more than 600 murals from artists from all over the world. Our guide today is my friend John Collins, who raised much of the money to make this happen when he was executive director of the St. Petersburg Arts Alliance. He started by showing me a coffee table book that shows every one of the murals, and that's when I began to grasp how massive the achievement of all that street art is.
This mural is by Dasik Fernandez. Dasik is from Chile, but he now works out of New York City. And for our second Shine Mural Festival in 2016, he came down and painted this incredibly brilliant mural of a woman with the raindrops, if you will, going opposite the way you would think, just turning your idea of art upside down, literally. One of my favorites. The artists felt they could showcase their art where they wouldn't otherwise be seen in galleries or elsewhere. And we discovered and made very clear to the city that wherever we could put murals would stop graffiti. And so the city was on board. Some artists painted a couple of great murals. They were incredible business people, and they had a plan. They figured out how it would work, and then the city gave us a small grant in 2014 or 15, and then we matched that grant to produce 11 or 12 murals that year over the course of a week to 10 days. So now every year the Shine Mural Festival is in late September, early October, and we bring in artists from around the world. They come here because they can paint whatever art they want. So the artists were willing to come, and we would raise the funds for them to come, and we set them up here all around the city in an area where, when it's all done, you could ride a bike around and see them, or take a trolley around and see them, or drive around and see them. One of my favorite stories is 3 years later, I was given an award for improving the beauty of the city, when 5 years earlier, I would have been arrested for graffiti, technically. And then as it grew over the years, there's now well over 120 murals in 7 years that the Shine Mural Festival has commissioned. We now have alumni around the world, and our local mural artists participate. But what we really love doing is bringing in artists from around the world. We curate it, that we just know how great they are, and we want to add them to the mix here. It's a mural artist festival. It's not a graffiti festival. New York and Miami kind of have graffiti down. There's no point in repeating what they do. The artists come in, and what I think is great is during that week to 10 days, they all come together, they get to share, they get to learn from each other, they share languages. 1 year, the common language was Spanish because everybody was from all over. Then the other 50 weeks of the year, when we don't have Shine and we don't have these artists here, and people call looking for a mural, we can recommend our local artists. So it's a great way of building business for them. And it also gives us a chance to discover artists during the year that we might invite to join the Shine Mural Artists. And it's now been really a badge of the Good Housekeeping seal of approval for these artists around the world to say that they performed at Shine. One of the spark plugs for the mural movement in St. Petersburg was, unfortunately, the sudden death of artist Bill Wu Carrero. And Billy Wu's, when he died, everyone was so distraught in the arts community that Derek Donnelly came to create this portrait of Billy Wu, and other artists came and helped paint various water activities, which Bill Wu was known for. Another one of my absolutely favorite murals from our first or second year of Shine, my memory is not quite clear on that one now, but this is by Ricky Watts from Northern California, an incredibly talented mural artist, an absolutely wonderful human being. And Ricky Watts came in, and he came in right after a hurricane had come through. So this mural is called Eye of the Storm, and it's the sun coming out after this incredibly colorful hurricane with the waves and the wind and everything that you see going on around you. This has become a very wonderful spot for people to come have pictures of their car commercials taken outside of here. I've seen people here with their wedding pictures. It's so wonderfully colorful. that it's become quite an iconic mural for St. Petersburg. We know there's over 600 murals. I know that I can personally attest to having figured out or helped pay for about 120 of them. I had to learn how to do insurance, how to get ladders, how to rent a 6-story tall scissor lift, and how to keep everybody safe. There's a lot that goes into a festival. Like, the artist knows what they're going to paint, but how many cans of spray paint does that mean? 500? 1,000? So we would get their orders and place the orders and put that all together and divide it out and send them out. And then once they started working and television picked up on it, and the print media picked up on it, I think people started coming to see them and interacting with them. That's when we kind of knew we had it. We give them 7 days. Some are faster. We usually figure 5 or 6 days, but we have to plan in a day or two. Every year, except this past year, we've had a mini hurricane for a day or two, or a tropical storm, which just knocks them out for a day and a half or 2 days. But they paint at night. They've learned to paint in the heat, which is something that the people who are not familiar with the humidity in St. Pete, we give them lights because they prefer to paint at night. It's just too hot in the daytime.
What is so exciting about this is that everywhere I look, I see art. And it feels like I'm not only discovering, but learning.
They get $1,000. That's their per diem, like $100 a day. Many spray paint and use aerosol, as they say. I didn't even know there's different kinds of tips for aerosol cans. Like, there's different size brushes. There's different tips on aerosol cans based on what you want to do. So there's an art to that. A number of them still paint with wall paint, brush paint. One of the best ones that I've loved, which was done by Velka One of his sister and a dog, was all brush paint, and he trained the classical way. He only ordered 6 colors of paint, and he mixed his own colors and he painted it. Because it was such a big wall and he was using brush paint, took about 2 weeks. But generally they're pretty good. They're in and out. Once I stood next to a grain painter and said, "What do you think that means?" And he said, "I don't know. Why don't you ask him?" So this mural is created by Alyssa Marie and her husband Braden, 2 artists who believe in painting sunflowers to spread sunshine and happiness throughout the community. So these hands, of all different colors together holding the sunflower, are from real people. First they came and they outlined everything, and they gave each color a number. So this is the biggest paint-by-number mural in St. Petersburg, which no one would know unless you get really close. You can sort of see maybe how that was done. But if you back up, it's all seamless. But the best part was they invited the people whose hands are in the picture and the kids from the community to come paint it with them. This shark is done by an artist whose handle is Shark Tooth, T-O-O-F. And Shark Tooth paints sharks all around the country. So he came here and did this one for us. He had us paint the whole building red first before he created all these amazing number of shades of red to create this monster shark. And he got this idea that here is this wonderful cage door. So here we are in the shark cage, safe from the shark. Unfortunately, it just got padlocked, so I can't show you how it works. But yet, many, this is probably the most Instagrammable picture over the years of people going, "Ah!" And the sharks coming to get them when they're in here.
John told me he doesn't have a favorite mural. I have to say, some of these that I'm showing you now are among my favorites, but how do I know? I haven't seen anywhere near all 600 of them. So I've got some work to do, as do you. So go see these murals. They are a great adventure out.